grace of Allah's rahmah that we're still in existence, and from these majlis of heavenly associations, always a reminder that the most powerful associations and most needed associations in the last days are these Salli ala Nabi, the associations in which they gather to listen and to join within the praises of the heavens, praising Allah and Allah's most beloved Sayyidina Muhammad and dhikrullah, that people whom listen to in their homes, attend the majlis of zikr, participate, have an immense reality being dressed upon them. And the reason they teach by understandings of energy, because it destroys the barriers of ignorance and dogma. That in these days where people are at a level of their vibration, their energy, their understanding been brought down with what they hear, with what they see, with what they feel, with everything of dunya is designed to bring their vibration, their frequency, their inner zikr. The light of their soul is determined by the quality of their internal zikr. And shaitan wants to bring the frequency of insan down. When their frequency is up, the shaitans burn. The angelic frequencies, the heavenly frequencies put a light upon the soul. This is the study of quantum, this is the study of light, that for that light to exist it's an energy. That energy to exist has a praise, a string theory of vibration. So shaitan knows the system, knows that the soul that emanates with too much light burns their beings, because Allah says, when the truth comes.
As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Shaykh Nurjan. Thank you for watching the video that you're watching. Inshallah, if you're happy with the content and happy with these programs, please support the button below, the programs that we have for our orphanage repairs, our water well, Give the Gift of Life, our mobile food vans. We have now 5 vans: Vancouver, Chicago, Los Angeles, Pakistan. There's many programs that reach thousands of people and rescue foods and give those supplies to people in need. Your support is greatly appreciated. Also, be so kind as to leave loving comments and please share the stream. Every bit counts. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
The falsehood perishes, and falsehood by its nature is zahuqan. That tell your people, qul ja'al haq, that when the truth comes, the truth means heavenly vibrations, whether within the angels, the prophets and within the heavenly kingdom. When the vibration is high, the lights are glowing and heated, Allah says, those vibrations and the lower vibrations, they don't come together and sit, they don't coexist. The nature of energy and the high vibration shatters everything negative, because negative has no foundation to hold itself. Zahuqan, Allah is then giving to us in this understanding that it will shatter. You merely build your light and anywhere you go that light begins to shatter everything false. If you're borderline, then you have very little effect on the negative energy, it basically can tolerate you. If you elevate your light through whatever Allah has sent for us of instruction, wash to protect your soul, pray to empower your soul and to deposit all the negativities, grounding and putting your head in sujood it grounds all of the badness and energizes and charges fast so that you can build your energy and conquer the shaitan moving within your blood and within your body. Means that everything that Allah brought for us and Sayyidina Muhammad brought for us, now they can understand it based on energy. We're at a place in which the understanding of humanity, they can understand what's in math? The common denominator. That instead of fighting about the interpretation of words and the dogma, the common denominator to solve this problem is energy. Whatever religion you think you are, the common denominator to solve our difference is energy. What do you think you're doing to build your energy, or whatever you're doing, is it destroying your energy? So in last days, to raise the vibration of people, these majlises that are conducted out of love and extraordinary worship. They did what was required and what was mandatory, they did their salah, they did what Allah asked for them. These are then the associations of the expression of love, in which Allah grants them by no intention. As we described, love can't be judged by intention. Love is based on the ishq, and when you come for the intention of love, these are then circles and portals of paradise. And why the Hadith al-Qudsi describes that the circles of paradise, if you see them, sit and stay with them, eat and drink from them. And then the whole description of that portal, that the angels are praising all the way to Arshur Rahman, and that anyone sitting in those portals and in those lights and in their homes where those portals are opening, the zikrs are opening, they're being dressed by the blessings all the way from the throne of Ar-Rahman to wherever they are. And that Allah is taking all of the difficulties and the badness or bad energies and bad character, all the way is being lifted up off of them. And the angels ask, but there's one who's not from among them, and that's why the lesson is in love. That Allah is explaining to the angels, no, there's so much blessings in this association, it doesn't matter who's sitting with them, what their intention is. I'm dressing them, blessing them and lifting from them their difficulties. Because love doesn't need an intention, they're coming for love. And Allah grants even the smallest mustard seed of love to be dressed by these blessings. So that's why in the last days these are the most powerful associations. These are the associations in which if there's somebody whom their frequency is very high, what we would call shaykhs and guides, in which they not self-proclaimed that they call themselves that, but in which their life was a training. And they were trained, they were sent into seclusions, they were trained on building their energy, they were trained on lowering and destroying the lower vibrations, and as a result they come out certified that they've been trained, and as a result they've been certified for guidance. And with that one attending, then is raising the vibration of the entire majlis. So the recitation comes and brings out an energy, but because the presence of the guide, and when the guide is present in the association, it's his soul that comes out, whether you're physical or at a distance, it doesn't make a difference. Because the power of the soul is faster than the speed of thought. That as soon as you attend their association, you make intention into that association, you begin to play those salawats and nasheeds with the presence of that shaykh is present in that association. Immediately the soul of the shaykh is present in all of those associations, wherever they're partaking. And that the shaykh operates from his wave reality. And as a result Allah describes them, one of the understandings from Surat Al-Yasin, Fuluk al-Mashhoon, that these are loaded ships, because the soul in this understanding is a ship. And Allah describes that they are loaded ships, means loaded with energies and voltage and immense lights. And as a result these lights come and they grab the lights of everyone in the associations. And as a result of the praisings and the energy and the vibrations and the frequencies, they're being raised. The lights are being raised. Means that this gift and this reality of guidance is not something that people can achieve. That if they think their salah is going to do the same, no, because kullu amalun bin niyat. Salah has to be judged. So if some people say, oh Shaykh, it's only I do my salah is enough for me. No, salah was mandatory, was ordered Allah, you have to do. But the gift is not in the mandatory, the gift of love and the proof of love is in the extraordinary. Right? Somebody gives you mandatory thing, you do mandatory without the expectation that my reward lies within the mandatory, but the expression of love is what's empowering. So when you do the mandatory everything has to be judged. Well, let's see what your intention was. And then you have to go through the process of judgment. So awliyaullah come into our lives and say, do everything that's mandatory 100%, but don't bank on that. Don't put your whole life on what was mandatory. That, Ya Rabbi, negate that before Allah negates it. Say, I don't know how you're going to judge, but I can probably tell you it's not going to be good. And I'm not counting on all those mandatory, but Ya Rabbi, I'm asking that you judge me based on that love. That on the actions I did of ishq and muhabbat and the love for Sayyidina Muhammad, that grant me the rewards of those associations, of those actions. They went out and gave water, they gave food, they sat for a majlis of zikr and salawat al-Nabi. Those are the actions that have tremendous reward with Divinely Presence. And that's why the importance in the last days so much of the zikrullah, the Sali ala Nabi, these association, because it can lift the energy and the vibration of people. And if they do this on a weekly basis, means that throughout the week their entire lives and our entire lives are being bombarded. You wake up Monday, what happens? Everything you heard, you hear, every experience you have at work, every interaction you have with humanity now is rigged to bring your vibration down. Many can barely survive the day. By the time they go home their eyes are red, they're tired and fatigued. Whatever energy they thought they had, by the end of the day it's been depleted. But then the majlis and the associations, again whether live or online, these are heavenly batteries, heavenly charging stations. If the car needs to be charged, and you saw the car when it runs out of its charge, you can't even push it, it just locks in the middle of the street. And it's a symbol for people that if you run your charge out and you run the battery out, shaitan will attack you, will completely overtake you, and before you know it you're making all the wrong choices, eating all the wrong foods, thinking all the wrong thoughts. And that's shaitan, that's the negative energy that overtakes people, makes them to harm themselves. Look now they legalize all the forbiddens on earth, so that what? To destroy all the children who will now stop anywhere along the road and pick up things that they think are legal, and those are legal ways of killing themselves. So it means this dunya is geared now for the destruction of insan.